Suppose that a firm begins to hire workers for a newly completed plant with a fixed amount of machinery. As the firm hires additional workers, one would expect the marginal product to blink. So we're given that there's a firm and it's a new firm and it hires a fixed amount of machinery. This means that this firm is in the short run. So all or most of its variable costs are fixed. So it also says that as the firm hires additional workers, one would expect the marginal product to blink. So we're looking for the marginal product. So let's try to graph this out. So this would look like here, where the y-axis represents price and the x-axis represents quantity of goods. And let's draw out the basic graphs. And assuming this is an imperfect competition model, although the question doesn't define that specifically, it isn't quite important, but we'll just assume that it is. So which means that this line here represents D equals MR, demand equals marginal revenue. This graph here represents marginal cost. This graph here would represent average total cost, and we can leave average variable cost off. So it's known that marginal cost is a reflection of the marginal product graph. So simply we could reflect this graph and we would find the marginal product graph, and that would look like this, which is like a reflection of the marginal cost graph. So from this graph we can see that as the quantity of workers increases, that the marginal product increases first, where it's going increasing, and then it starts dropping. So here we can see that it would rise initially, but then fall. So let's look at the answer choices. Option choice A says it would fall initially, but eventually rise. This is incorrect because this describes marginal cost, not marginal product, where marginal product is the one rising initially and then falling, and marginal cost is the one that's falling initially and then rising. So A is incorrect. B, rise initially but eventually fall. This seems to be the correct answer because if you look at the marginal product graph, it's rising initially, where it starts out here, then it rises up here, peaks up here, then it starts falling. So B seems to be the correct answer. C, rise consistently due to diminishing return. This is incorrect because, as you can see from the graph, it isn't rising continuously, and diminishing return would imply that it wouldn't rise continuously. D, rise consistently due to the advantages of specialization. This is incorrect because the advantages of specialization maximize at a certain point, where the number of workers is at an optimal point, and that point would be up here where it peaks. Afterwards, too many workers are in the plant and it's not optimal anymore, so it wouldn't rise consistently. So D is incorrect. E, rise consistently due to economies of scale. This is incorrect because we're analyzing a short-term graph, because it says here that there's a fixed amount of machinery, so there's fixed inputs. So because it is fixed and this is short-term, economies of scale aren't important here, so E is incorrect. Therefore, the correct answer is B.